I'm Tracy Baxter with this edition of Record Newswatch. For many here in the Catskills and Hudson Valley, it was a tragically familiar scene. Less than 2 weeks after Tropical Storm Irene ripped through the region, many of you once again woke up to the sight of flooded roadways that hindered travel, caused additional damage, and closed schools. Monhegan Brook and the water that flows underground turned Fulton Street in the city of Middletown into a river. Following the torrential downpours, city resident Terry Randolph was among those watching the water rush by again.
I was wondering, when it's going to end. It's an awful lot of water. Just wondering if Fulton Street is a street or a river. That's really about it. It's affecting work. It's affecting everyone in a horrible way.
Down the street, the scene was worse as the overflow made sections of Fulton and Genung Streets and Academy Avenue impassable. Local businessman Oscar Hendrine was directing traffic while confused motorists tried to figure out how to get from here to there. At 33 Genung Street, Charlene Newhall watched helplessly as her already flood-battered property became a lake for a second time.
Really, really crazy. It's just unreal. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I have 3 kids. I had to evacuate my home. I had to take them to a friend's house. It's unreal.
Terrible, terrible. I've never seen flooding like this before on this street. Terrible. My neighbor's just cleaning up after the last hurricane, and now this.
Others, like the man who owns Sam's convenience store on Academy Avenue, were doing what they could to try to keep the floodwaters at bay. Across the street, the frustrated CEO at Southwind's retirement home wasn't happy that they hadn't had any contact with Middletown city officials.
We did not get as much water into the facility at with this particular storm, but certainly enough to take 102 seniors, average age of 87, and have to shift around the building in order for them to be safe and dry.
Today, Middletown Mayor Joe DeStefano declared a state of emergency until 6 a.m. tomorrow. States of emergency were also declared in the towns of Deer Park and Wallkill, with low-lying communities flooded. Other places were hit hard as well. An overflowing Wallkill River forced the closing of Oil City Road in Warwick. In Unionville, the water was waist deep in some sections of the village, including Barton Avenue, stranding people and vehicles. Langlet's Road in Minnesink was one of a number of area roads that washed out this morning. And firemen spent more time with a now familiar job, pumping out flooded basements. This house at 18 Barcelos Street in Port Jervis was one of the impacted houses that firemen Rob Padgett and Victor Maskery had responded to. Now keep clicking back here at Record Online for the latest weather information, as well as a complete report on the areas and events impacted by this latest round of flooding. Well, this was the scene along the Pinekill in Westbrookville yesterday, before this latest round of flooding. Justin Kissaday had just returned to the waterlogged home he and his girlfriend had left prior to Irene. He wasn't looking forward to a walkthrough of his water-damaged house.
It's been hell, basically. Still waiting to get back into the house. Got to have the floodwaters stop, or the floodwaters, the brook recede, I should say. So to have enough confidence so I can go back in the house, assess the damage, see what we need to have done, and take it from there. We've been here 7 years, gone through 6 floods, and we just can't take it anymore. It's too much. There's enough problems going on in lives. We don't need this one.
More flooding today may have dealt Kissaday a knockout blow. He told me yesterday that he was 99% sure he'd throw in the towel and move. And that was before this morning's high waters. And this latest storm added insult to injury for those who commute to New York on the Port Jervis rail line. Tropical Storm Irene causing extensive damage to the tracks in the Sloatsburg area, and the destruction will reportedly take months to repair. Metro North is planning to have bus service available at all of its Port Jervis rail line stations by Monday. Metro North officials are expecting a preliminary report next week that should provide a more specific estimate on how long the rail line will be out of service. Thankfully, our weather should get a little better over the next couple of days. Expect a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow with only a slight chance of scattered showers. The highs will be up around 80 degrees. Saturday will again feature clouds and breaks of sunshine with temperatures reaching the upper 70s. For breaking news, including more on this latest round of flooding, keep checking back here at Record Online and get all the news in tomorrow's Times Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.